down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, they're holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
Hi, guys. I hope everybody is doing well today. I forgot to touch up. 4 months. Has it been 4 months? My God, Jonathan. Why I expected the sound that Creed and Mikey play, I don't know. This is what we play when we have journeys like that. Thank you so much, Jonathan. How wonderful is that? Oh, is the music loud? I don't control the sound on that as easily as I used to, so I will think about that. OG. That's OG call, as my kid would say. Thank you. You guys, how exciting is this? It was Red Shirt Day. I heard there was a memo about it. So I went with that. The other polka dots are mainly to hide my gray hair as I talk about it. Today is Monday. I think we're starting something that might take us the whole week. Where did that? Notepad. So I took some notes, and I don't even think we can finish the first video today because it is already 3 hours and 40 minutes, just the first part of the hearing. And then we have another 2 hours and a half, and then another 40 minutes, and then they come back on Friday for more testimony. But what I think is if we do it from now until Friday, we'll be ready for their stuff on Friday and be able to just roll right through it. That's my plan. I don't know anything about this yet. Hold on. My brain is really fucked up right now. I get. Oh, fucking internet. We better start and we'll see. That would be really dumb if I did it. If I did the thumbnail with the wrong people. It might not even be. No. These are the wrong people.
Generally, he was present on Tuesdays and
People. Where did those people come from? My internet is not the problem. My brain is the problem right now. Oh my god. Where did I take their video? Like, where did I? Okay, well, okay. What? I'm going to.
Good morning. Is your client with you, Rhonda?
Oh,
Yeah,
hold
she
on.
should be pulling in any minute. She had a little bit of a delay, so she was just getting off the exit in Coldwater about 5 minutes ago. So she should be here any second.
Well, we're not gonna wait.
Okay, so this is the case that we're watching. The thumbnail is the wrong thumbnail. That's the problem. I'm gonna have to fix that. It is a divorce. It's just not those people. I don't know who those people are. Where did I take them from? Streamlabs did not do this. I am fucking baffled right now about where the people on the thumbnail came from. Okay, well, we have to just get over it, Paisley, and just go forth. Make a note of that, I guess, and change it. I don't know what to do about that. I think I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch. I'm just gonna just shut up. Oh my god.
For Miss I, so we're gonna proceed. We're already starting late.
Okay,
Okay.
I had a couple pretrial issues that I want.
Yep, we'll address those.
Oh,
This will
okay.
go on the record.
All right, give me one moment here to officially call the record. One moment. The 37th Circuit Court is now in session with the Honorable Ann K. Kirkland presiding. It is Thursday, March 14, 2024 at 8:35 a.m. And this is for case 2023-1344 DC, Porter Ward versus Daniel Newburn, Attorney Storm for plaintiff, and Attorney
Okay. Wow. It is really jumping around today. I'm gonna look for the source of the thumbnail. I gotta talk to the guys in the truck about that. But this girl's internet down here, the one, oh, you see, I got out my choker. I was looking for my black choker because I saw her wearing her choker. It's my blue choker. Just, I don't have color awareness. Anyways, the lawyer down there, I've never seen a lawyer wear a choker necklace like this in court. I fucking throw myself way off today. I had.
And you stated that there was some preliminary matter. Is that the one you were referencing? Or was there something else?
Well, yeah, yes, Your Honor, I had filed an objection to the entry of exhibits. I received, I don't know, it's approximately a 200-page plus binder on Friday, March 8th of exhibits. And on November 3rd, I understand on November 13th, exhibits were due. And on November 13th, just to give a brief history for the record,
You don't have
we
to,
had a-
Ms. Ives. I'm well aware of that. I will address that. I've reviewed the file. And so I have all the disclosures and everything else that was filed back then. Just
Okay,
make your
thank you.
argument.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would just indicate that on November 13th, I believe that that's the date and time that witness exhibits and not only was the witness list and exhibits due, but actual copies of those exhibits were to be exchanged between the parties. On that date, I attempted, after the pretrial conference on November 13th, I reached out to Ms. Storm and told her, did you realize the exhibits must be exchanged today? And she said no, and we looked, and sure enough, they were due that day. I said I would agree to extend that, but then upon calling the court to see when that new deadline would be, the court was informed by your staff that there would be no extension and to follow the scheduling order. And so I reached back out to Attorney Storm and I told her that we've got to follow the scheduling order. We cannot stipulate. And so then it was in the afternoon. I talked to my client. I put together what I thought were the limited exhibits. There was a total of, I believe, 7 of them. I attached them to my exhibit list, all 7. They're one or 2 page exhibits. And I had emailed them and shared them with Ms. Storm. On that day, I did receive a witness and exhibit list from Ms. Storm, but I did not receive any exhibits whatsoever. And then on the 8th, Friday, March 8th, I received approximately 200 plus pages of exhibits. I was at a conference, so I really didn't get them until Monday morning, but I was rather shocked that opposing counsel would deliver such exhibits less than a week in front of trial. So I believe that they should not be entered. I don't believe it's fair to allow those to be entered at this time, given the scheduling order. I do understand that your trial notice said that judges' copies should be delivered 7 days prior to trial. If the court was going to even allow that as it doesn't say share with opposing counsel, because we should have shared back in November. I do not believe that there's a good reason for the delay in bringing the exhibits to the court and opposing counsel 6 days before the hearing.
Okay,
And
thank
we
you.
ask that those not be entered. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Ms. Storm, what's your response?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Ives is right that we did have that conversation on November 13th after our pre-trial and after we got off the phone and found that we weren't able to get the extension. I was able to get with my client and cobble together some of the exhibits. I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 exhibits that were saved on a USB drive and sent to both Ms. Ives and the court on that same day. I have a letter in my file that indicates that the exhibits were delivered to Ms. Ives, sent on the 13th and through via a USB drive, and that same went to the court that day. Additionally, due to the need to adjourn and reschedule, some of which was due to Ms. Ives' schedule.
This is her problem, by the way. It clears up in a little bit, but this is her Wi-Fi issue, not me, I promise.
I felt it was necessary to supplement and amend the exhibits because there had been a significant passage of time since November 13th to now. The exhibits that I delivered to the court and to Ms. Ives on the 8th include those original exhibits and updated those regarding the information that we did not have at that time, just text messages that had occurred between parties since then. And some other records. I do believe that they are important. And some of the exhibits that I have exchanged are also partial exhibits that Ms. Ives had sent to me as well. However, my exhibits show a fuller picture of conversation between the parties, gives more context for those conversations that she submitted. So we did provide these to Ms. Ives and the court on the 13th, And I apologize for not getting them to the court or Ms. Ives sooner than the 8th. There have been some changes as that I'm no longer at my old office. That happened in the end of January of 2024.
Hi, Mike. Also, yeah, reminder, guys, this is her internet that sucks, not mine for once. It's usually mine. I'll take responsibility mostly, but this time hers, not mine.
And I no longer have access to my digital files from that case. So I'm left with just what I had in my paper files, show me what had been sent and going on. And I do believe that it's important, Your Honor. So I would ask that the court consider the exhibits that I have prepared, so that the court can have the best picture of what is going on with the parties.
Okay, thank you. Well, I have no
Yeah.
doubt that they are important. I don't need anything, Ms. Ives. I have
Okay.
no doubt they are important. But the court will go back to the case scheduling order, which was entered on August 7, 2023, a substantial amount of months ago. In this matter, the court notes that that case scheduling order, if we look at the paragraph specifically delineated and discussing the exhibits and the witnesses, court will note it says, and I quote, each attorney / party shall provide the other party with and the court with the names and addresses of witnesses the party intends to call at trial and paper copies of all exhibits to be introduced at trial no later than 21 days after the first mediation date. Failure to comply will bar the introduction of testimony or evidence at trial unless good cause is shown for the non-compliance. The court will note in this matter that both parties, Ms. Ives and Ms. Storm, have filed and did file witness list on November 13, 2023, which is the deadline for the witnesses and the exhibits. The Storm did file, apparently, as she says, a flash drive or something with exhibits. Did you get that flash drive, Miss Ives?
No, Your Honor, no flash drive was ever provided to my office, nor were any of the exhibits emailed or in any way. We never
Okay.
received any exhibit. The first time I'm receiving any of these exhibits was Monday morning of this week after they were delivered on Friday.
Okay. I think the court notes I don't have any flash drive of exhibits either in this matter, so I don't know what happened to that. But again, the court will note that the case scheduling order is very clear in this matter as to the disclosure. And the court will note pursuant to Michigan Court Rule 2.401, parens B, parens 2, parens A, parens double I, the court has the authority to establish time for events and adopt other procedures the court deems appropriate in this matter. And court will note pursuant to Duray Development LLC versus Parent at 288 Mishap 143, a 2010 case, that the Court of Appeals has stated that when the party violates a scheduling order, it is within the court's discretion to impose a sanction on that party. In this particular matter, again, the case scheduling order is very clear. It was not complied with. The court will bar the introduction of Ms. Storm's exhibits in this particular matter. So with that, Ms. Storm, are you ready to proceed?
Oh, shit, Judge. You know what? That's a great pause point. What? Are you crazy, Peasley? Yes, I am crazy because we've only watched here 12 minutes of this case, less because some of the front time was dead time. And I don't want to be a clickbaiter. So we're going to go ahead and put on the other video that was on the thumbnail. Give me one. There it is. I honestly just want to.
Yeah, last,
Oh, what are you bitching about, Judge? This judge is in a bad mood. I know, Bev. I know you're right. Plus, this one I'll probably make into a video, depending on what it's like. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
yeah, last Thursday.
What's last Thursday, Judge?
Please unmute both of you. Sir,
Damn, I'm like, shit, I should have got that shot. Did you see that?
Mr. Kidia. Hello?
Who's that behind her?
Can you hear us, sir?
What a couple.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Give me one moment here and I'll call us into session.
They're shuffling all these papers.
The 37th Circuit Court is now in session with the Honorable Brian K. Kirkham presiding. It is Monday, March 18, 2024 at 11 a.m. Two cases for these parties, 2024 391 PP, John McKediak versus Lindsay McKediak, and 2024 113 PP, Lindsay McKediak versus John McKediak.
Good morning to both of you.
Right.
Court will
morning.
note that in the 391 PP case involving Mr. McKediak, he's filed a petition for a personal protective order. And in the other case, the 113 PP, Ms. McKediak has filed a motion to show cause for violation of the PPO. Ms. McKediak, I'll let you know, your proof of service shows service on the respondent on March 14, 2024, which was last Thursday. That is improper service. So I cannot take up your motion to show cause on today's date.
Okay.
So the only issue the court will be addressing today is the petition in the 391 PP case. So Mr. McKediak, in this matter, will proceed on your petition. Do you wish to render any testimony?
I mean, no, other than what was stated in the PPO.
Well, you're gonna have to enter some testimony because I won't do it just on a written statement. So what we're gonna
Okay.
do is have you sworn in, raise your right hand, be sworn, and then we will proceed.
Sir, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Tell us what you'd like us to be aware of. What happened that you should be getting a personal protective order?
So we've been separated. She's came to my place of business, unlawfully removed vehicles.
Okay, hold on a second. When you say she,
Oh, Lindsay,
obviously she doesn't mean anything. You have to tell me who she is.
okay, I apologize. Lindsay McKediak had came to my place of business and removed vehicles. She has pending cases for that. From my understanding, Lindsay McKediak also has another PPO placed on her by somebody else. And Lindsay McKediak still has possession of her firearms and continually calls me, threatens to shoot me, threatens just continually harassing me and harassment. And then, you know, she feels she needs a PPO because she's scared of me, but she's coming to my house, driving by, calling my phone all the time by block numbers, no caller ID numbers, and threatening friends and associates. And I'd like to say or show and sending mail to my house that says happy birthday, hubby, love you, with balloons and hearts
Okay,
with her name written
Don't
on
show
the
your
front of it.
address, Bob.
okay.
And she has a PPO on me, but she continually violates it. So I feel like I need to protect myself from her feeling like I have no recourse because she can do whatever because she has a PPO on me.
Okay, you stated that there were various dates that she called and threatened you and things of that nature. Do you have dates for that, sir?
Yeah, it was, I want to say,
Miss Carrie, you improperly serve somebody by not providing proper service in the amount of time. So let's say, for example, I think it's 7 days they have before the date of the hearing. So if you serve somebody prior to 7 or like with less than 7 days to serve it or till the date, I don't think that's considered proper service. I think if you serve the person but you don't like sometimes people get civilians or regular people to serve people and they don't do it properly. Maybe they didn't fill it out properly, they didn't send it in properly, improper service. People raise their hand to take the oath, some spread their fingers apart. I wonder if so. What's funny is that I raise my hand to take the oath like a lot, probably more than a lot of people. And I have to think about it every time. My brain defaults to have my fingers like splayed, and I'm like, put your fingers together. And I don't know why. What does that say about me, Ed?
Leave her.
February 9th or 11th.
Okay, and what does it pertain to? Because you made a lot of allegations, so I need to know if it was, you say what date, what was the date again?
I want to say February 9th.
Okay, February 9th. What happened on February 9th?
I received a bunch of no caller ID calls, and I wouldn't answer
Okay, how did you know it was her if you have no caller ID on there?
because my girlfriend had answered the phone and had her on speaker, and they commenced to argue and threatening each other. And
Okay,
Lindsay threatening her.
so did you hear the conversation when they were on the speakerphone?
Yes, I was in the vehicle when she answered it, and it was on my phone.
Oh, okay.
And also,
Hold on. There's
Sorry.
a lot of things we have to establish. You just can't.
Okay.
Well, did you recognize respondent's voice on the phone?
Yes.
Damn right, girl. Woo! That's Canadian style. Get that vacation.
And what did she specifically say to you? I'm not concerned about what she said about your girlfriend because she's not a party to this. So what did she say to you or make any threats to you?
The typical, if I come around, she's going to shoot me, that she's going to make sure I lose my business. She so numerous times of stealing my dogs and selling them, which she has in the past.
Did she threaten that or you're just bringing that up now?
Where did she go? And it's in the mirror. And Dana, congratulations. Seriously, you guys, we got to go back a little bit. Zoom. I need you guys to put on your detective glasses here. Let's see what happens. What is it blurring here? You can tell that's not a glitch in my end because we're replicating it here when I've gone back. But look in the mirror behind her. You can see her. I think she goes out a door.
Selling them, which she has in the past.
Did she threaten that or you're just bringing that up now?
No, she said that. Like, let your dogs be outside running loose and they'll come up missing again and blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
just-
so she threatened to steal your dogs.
Yes. And I have numerous text messages from her threatening to have me locked up again. I'm going to go away forever. Just repeatedly over and over. And then also, you know, I've had to have her removed from the shop by BCPD.
Malfunction of the chest support system. You guys are hilarious. Oh, yeah.
had to have her removed from the shop by BCPD, to where they told her if she come back on the property, she'd be arrested for trespassing. And threatening that if I didn't pay the child support when she wanted, she'd have me locked up. There's numerous calls to Tom Mize, which was my federal supervised release officer, where she called and threatened him and his supervisors to do something about me and when I pay my child support, and trying to turn in evidence to have me incarcerated again
Okay.
for violating no contact.
Now, on the letters that you claim were delivered to you, when were the dates of those?
This one was March 1st, 2024. And I have the picture of it. It's in her handwriting. Well, this is the actual envelope. This is the handwriting. And then this is also her hand.
Stop it. Stop showing your shit, you fucking assholes. Sorry.
Handwriting and her little messages at the top, whether to cause problems between me and my now girlfriend or just antagonize and upset me.
Okay. And any other dates that you've gotten those letters?
No,
Okay.
that was the most recent.
So effectively, if I'm correct, is that you've received numerous phone calls, you've had visits at work and letters in this particular matter. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, and also her unlawfully driving off with the vehicle that I was in possession with.
Well, that's for another matter. That's going to have to be something that's resolved through the divorce action.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, she was charged with that.
Okay.
All right, let's dissect these hand tattoos. What the fuck is that? It's like both of them fell asleep on a wet newspaper. And then she rolled off of it and he rolled off of it too. Jesus Christ. They're tattoos. They're fucking weird tattoos. We know how I feel about tattoos. No offense to anybody that has tattoos, but I don't have tattoos for a reason. Something. Like, it doesn't even, there's no, and I'm not, this is not even the lowest quality of this video. This is like 720. Super weird. I hate that, like, discombobulated, like one hand's super covered and one hand's like a little bit sparse.
Okay. Anything else, sir?
Well, Your Honor, I wasn't in the state the date of the issue of the original PPO.
Okay, we're not addressing that today, sir.
Okay.
There's nothing in your petition. You didn't file a motion to terminate their PPO, so I can't take that up today.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Ms. McKediak, I'll have you raise your right hand and be sworn in, and we'll take testimony from you if you wish to give any.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, I'm being serious now. Like, we used to joke about it a little bit, but like, he's saying sodomly, not solemnly. I want to know how it is in the records. Also, I'm getting it at the best quality I can for the court. I always download the best quality I can. And yeah, pinky spread. I also have a rogue pinky, and my pinky just honestly, oftentimes when I'm drinking, my pinky is like off to the side, like drinking anything on my out of my mug, my bubba mug.
Ma'am, I'll first advise you in this matter with what's been stated, only because there's a lot of things that have been stated. I want to make sure you understand that you have a Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination, and you don't have to answer any questions that may incriminate you for any criminal proceedings. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I don't know if they'll come up. I'm just mentioning it because of what he's alleged. I don't want you to do anything that's going to have an adverse effect on you that you should not admit to.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
As to the allegations that he's made, have there been phone calls made with which you have threatened the petitioner?
No, Your Honor. No.
Mhm.
Your Honor, I do not have time.
Oh my God, you were so fucking close, girl. I was literally just about to pause it and say, you know what? She is quieter than anybody else. She doesn't have a big elaborate story. All she's saying is no. And this is the smart way to do it. This is exactly how you should answer questions from lawyers. As few words as possible. Make them ask you more questions. Don't elaborate. Seriously. And I'm not getting, but now she's talking. So I'm retracting all of that. All of it.
To threaten.
What he's saying is that, again, in the phone call, that he recognized your voice on 2-9, that you threatened if he comes around, you're going to shoot him. Did you
No.
say that?
No, sir.
Did you threaten to steal his dogs?
No, I do not.
Did
lock
you
his-
did you threaten to have him locked up?
No, sir, but there was a no contact order on his federal
Okay, that's not what I'm asking about, ma'am. Don't go
No,
off on tangents and stuff I'm not asking. You can bring that up
No,
later.
no.
Did you threaten that you were going to have him removed from various jobs?
No, Your Honor.
Did you send him a handwritten letter on March 1, 2024?
That envelope is a service of my response to the divorce, and I did not write the message on the back, but that's a
Okay.
service for divorce. So, in which I have the proof of service and I have my response right here, and in which it was filed and mailed to him in the envelope. And that is what that is. That is not a letter. That is the response to his divorce.
Okay.
She was holding up paperwork.
Did you, in fact, as he stated, go to the property where he was working and remove a vehicle that was in his possession?
No, that vehicle is my parents' truck.
Did you or did you not, though? Here look at his face. He knows she's going to lie about this. And this one she can't lie about. We're going to have to follow up on this case too. Fucking shit.
Okay. Anything else, ma'am, that you would like to say in response to the
It's
allegation?
just, I don't threaten him. And on these dates of February 9th, February 8th, of the dog matter, of any of his girlfriend calls me. He threatens me. This is ongoing and scary. And very scary on the part of I don't have time to threaten John. There was a no contact order with his federal.
Again, ma'am, that's not a part of today's hearing, so I don't care about what happens on his probation.
Well, what I'm saying is that there's no contact.
And I'm telling you, I don't care about what a different proceeding is. That's not involved in today's hearing.
POs, no contact orders.
Ma'am, you're not listening to me or something, because I'm saying I don't care what's happened in his other criminal action, okay? If he has a no contact order or not, it doesn't pertain to this proceeding. He is seeking to get a PPO. So anything that's happened in some other action, I don't care about.
I'm saying I've taken the measures to protect myself and get PPO orders. So that way I am not contacting him. I am not threatening him.
Okay. Anything else, ma'am?
I do not write him. I do not call him. I do not have time. I have an autistic son that I take care of, and I am constantly being threatened. I am constant, and I try to cover my butt with this. I
Okay,
call
thank
him
you.
in courts. So,
Sir, do you have any other witnesses or evidence to present?
No, pretty much just that envelope. You know, she filled out the front, the heart on it next to her name is the exact same hearts that are on the back of the message that she said she did not put on there.
Okay.
If I also need to drop off, I can print out all the threatening text messages she has sent from her actual number that has her photo on it to the courts if you need that for more evidence. And you can look up the police proceedings from her removing that vehicle that I was in possession of from my business.
Just to confirm, sir, was that vehicle, was it in fact her parents' vehicle?
No, they had sold it to my little brother. And then my little brother went to jail and I was using it waiting on my new vehicle. And
it is still titled to my parents.
Ma'am, don't interrupt. I didn't go to you yet, so be quiet when you're not asked to talk.
There is a police report and there is a criminal case against her for removing that her dad had pressed charges on her because she didn't have authority to go and remove that vehicle. And her dad returned it back to my shop after dealing with the state police at her house and taking it from
so
her.
the vehicle was returned.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else, sir, before we conclude?
No, sir.
Do you wish to make any closing argument?
No, sir.
Okay. Ma'am, is there anything else you would like to say before we conclude?
That vehicle is still titled in my parents' name. And this is all to get my CPL taken from me. So, and he threatens that constantly because this man has taped me up. He has came into my home. He has beat me, abused me, tried to kill me. And that's why I have PPO orders. I am so tired. I'm tired because I raised 2 children. And I am tired of these. I don't have time for these games. And he is doing this because if there's a PPO placed on me, then I cannot protect myself, and he knows that.
Okay. Well, in this matter, the court has heard the testimony. I would state in this particular case that, again, when the court does listen to testimony, the court notes that credibility is always an issue. Oftentimes, parties will allege that another party has lied or given false testimony. However, the court's found that conflicting testimony can occur as a result of a witness's background, perception, bias, understanding, or misunderstanding, that it does inconsistencies do not always determine or denote that a party has lied. It can simply be a matter of perception. Obviously, there's some inconsistencies here. The court, in deciding whether to grant a personal protective order. I can grant a personal protective order pursuant to the sections on personal protective orders, which is MCL 600.2950, and action enjoining or restraining a person if there is reasonable cause to believe that the individual has committed or may commit any of the acts listed under MCL 600.2950 parens 1 parens A through K in this particular matter. What happens is, after listening to the testimony, the court does believe that there's reasonable cause to believe that, again, that the respondent committed or may commit any of those particular acts. The petitioner stated that there was a call on February 9, 2024, in which some threats were made, that there was a letter on March 1, 2024 that had some handwritten statements on it. The court will note that also the respondent did remove a vehicle from the petitioner's possession, which was subsequently returned to the to his possession. The court will note that the respondent has stated that she did not threaten him, etc., in this matter, that in fact she didn't write on that envelope, but the court does believe that there's sufficient evidence to believe that, again, not only that she may have committed, but may commit. So the court is going to enter a personal protective order, which would prohibit the respondent from assaulting, attacking, beating, molesting, or wounding petitioner. Also, that, again, would keep her from appearing at petitioner's workplace or residence, or sending mail to him, or contacting him by phone in this particular matter, or from threatening to kill or injure him in any way. The court will not enter an order which would prohibit her from possessing a firearm, and the court will keep this in place for a period of 1 year that will allow you to get past the period of time of your divorce action. Hopefully things can settle down at that particular point. So that will be the order of the court. Will
Your Honor, can the court make an order about the caterpillars on her eyelids, perhaps? Can they become butterflies? Can they fly away? Come on.
point. So that will be the order of the court. We'll do that, and then that's how we'll proceed.
I thank you.
And that will conclude the matter. And Mr. Kediak, you can come down to the court, and the EPO coordinator, and she'll assist you in getting a copy of that, et cetera. Okay?
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. You're free to go. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, let's continue. I sent it to your PPO sign queue.
I know I'm doing it now.
Okay, and let me get the other. Because in this one, we also have a bit of a situation. Service related. I need to, let me confirm. 269406. Are you Tiffany Osborne?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let me rename you here, please. One moment.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, everybody, for your patience. This is case 2024-462 PP, Tiffany Osborne versus Shane Osborne. Attorney Bailey Hobbs for defendant respondent, March 18, 2024 at 11:22 a.m.
Yeah, Miss Carey.
Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
This matter is before the court on the defendant's motion to terminate the personal protective order and plaintiff's motion to show cause for violation. I do note we have in our file that there is no proof of service on the motion to terminate. Ms. Bailey Hobbs, has that been taken care of or what?
Your Honor, we filed the motion to terminate on March 4th, and on the same day, we mailed a copy by certified mail, return receipt requested pursuant to MCR 3.707 AC, which requires us to serve pursuant to 2.105A2. I have not received the signed return receipt yet. That's why the return receipt nor proof of service have been filed with the court yet. If the
Okay, so you
court,
don't know if service was accomplished then?
no, I do not. And if it wasn't and the court decides that they want us to postpone this and perfect service, I would ask the court to allow us to serve either by USPS first class mail or serving her petitioner or her counsel in her divorce proceeding pursuant to the
Well, I'm not, okay, the attorney for the plaintiff is not involved in these proceedings, so I can't have you accomplish service upon her when she's not in this action. What I'm gonna do is, because there is no proof of service and we don't even know if service was accomplished, the court is not going to proceed with that at this time. And I'll simply, because I don't want to engage in bifurcated proceedings in this matter, the court is going to put both of these matters over until we have proper service, and then we can address everything at the same time.
Perfect, Judge, because we don't need to watch the rest of that. We are now I have successfully scratched my itch of needing to show what was on the thumbnail. Also, made a note, we'll have to make that into a video later tonight, but we are back to this. This is our main event. Hey,
And Miss,
not yet, Judge. Give me can you give me 1 minute? 1 minute. Please. Okay. Now I've lost my train of thought. Yeah. Oh, this is our main event. It's got hours upon hours upon hours of divorce. We're going to be watching it for a couple of days. Let's settle in and get cozy. Have a good time. I don't want to have to hold the judge in contempt, but I will. Let's go.
Ms. Ives?
Yes, Your Honor. Just as a preliminary matter too, because when we were at the last pretrial conference, and just to save the court time and litigation time today, I'm still unclear if custody is actually at issue, because I felt when we were at the pretrial conference that the parties agreed to joint physical custody, but the issue that is at hand is really parenting time, how that's going to unravel, and also the issue of where the minor child is going to continue through school, because the child is enrolled in 2 separate schools right now for kindergarten. So I just trying to streamline the issues for the court today. I thought I would bring that up, so because there's
Oh shit. This is going to be a good case. I can tell already. They both enrolled the child in kindergarten. I love it. I love it.
if this is actually a custody, if custody, both legal and physical, has been resolved, it'll save a lot of time and the kinds of questions and the amount of questioning that we go into.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Storm, what are your thoughts concerning this?
We were not under the impression that custody, legal or physical, was resolved.
Okay. Well, I would note, looking back at the case scheduling order, it does say that custody, support, parenting time, and school issues are in dispute. So as a result, we'll proceed. Unfortunately, you weren't able to get that resolved, Ms. Ives, before today's trial. So the court's going to address all the issues that the case scheduling order says are in dispute. So
Okay,
With-
very well.
with that, Ms. Storm, do you wish to make an opening statement or waive your opening statement?
I'd like to reserve on an opening statement, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Ives, do you wish to make an opening statement, reserve your opening statement, or waive your opening statement?
Your Honor, I'll reserve as well.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Storm, you can proceed with your witnesses.
Your Honor, I believe that Ms. Ives and I spoke yesterday about taking some of our witnesses out of order, as some of the witnesses on our list did overlap, and in the interest of keeping some of the professionals' days quick and taken care of, we did agree to take some of the witnesses out of order.
Is that accurate, Ms.
Was
Ives?
it Ms. Hosek?
Yes, Your Honor, and I believe Ms. Hosak, she was gonna log in right at 8:30 this morning, so she could be ready to testify. She was on both of our witness lists.
What's the name again?
What was the name?
Martha Hosak.
Hosak.
I do see that person.
Okay.
I'm bringing her in.
You can tell because everyone else's cameras are moving. They're catching little movements.
Just waiting for her to connect.
And hers is seriously worse than mine. I don't know who they're bringing in, Ed. I don't know. We're gonna find out together. Together. I would skip it, but if I do, it'll fuck it up for me and you. So we wait. But I hate that we have to wait. Oh, Martha, look at your tits. Shit, Martha.
Please unmute.
This is not your
Ma'am.
OnlyFans. Martha.
Ma'am, could you adjust your camera so we can see your face too?
Good night.
Hosak, would you adjust your camera, please?
Hosak. Oh my God. You can't write it. You can't write Hosak their tits.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Ms. Hosak, we're going to take some testimony from you. So if you would, we'll have you raise your right hand and be sworn in, then we'll proceed.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Go ahead, Ms. Storm.
Could you please state your name for the record?
Martha Hosek,
Okay, and how are you employed?
secretary,
And where are you a secretary?
Battle Creek Public Schools,
Okay, at which school specifically?
Dudley.
No. Don't. Could you not? Could you not? Just let that play for a minute and then.
Okay, are you familiar with either of the parties, Mr. Porter Ward or Ms. Danielle Newbern?
Yes,
Which one or both are you familiar with?
I know both of them.
Okay, and are you familiar with their son, Demetrius?
Yes,
Okay, and Have you been able to have contact with both Ms. Newber and Mr. Ward?
Yes,
Okay. Do you remember my client attending the kindergarten open house for this last year, this current school year?
yes,
Oh my God, please keep in mind, apparently this kid does not go to school yet. So this school has been, could you imagine being called into litigation about a possible student that's not even in kindergarten yet? Oh my God, what a nightmare. Oh, oh.
Okay. At that time, do you remember having him ask you a question regarding records as far as who was listed on those records for Demetrius?
I only knew about the open house yesterday. I didn't know they were here for the open house. I'm not part of that group.
Okay, so you don't remember speaking with Mr. Ward
Not on open house
the
day,
kindergarten
no.
open house?
Oh, hold on one second, Ms. Hosek. You appear to be, sometimes there's a delay on the videos and you're jumping over, Ms. Storm. So you're starting to answer before she's done with the question. So
Okay,
please just give it a moment, then we can get the answer.
Have you had the opportunity to review the paperwork for Demetrius at Dudley Elementary?
yes,
Okay. Do you know whether my client is listed on the student's information paperwork?
yes,
Okay. Do you know whether he was listed as a parent or as something else on that paperwork?
he's listed as a parent now.
Okay. You say he's listed as a parent now. Was there a time he wasn't listed as a parent?
When they first came in to pick up, I only saw mom's name as a reference to pick up early.
Okay. Was he listed as a person to call in case of an emergency?
I don't know. I didn't look at the screen at that time.
Okay. Do you know whether he's listed as emergency contact now?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Do you know what position he has on the list of emergency contacts? Is he first, second?
Right at this moment, no, I'd have to recheck. He's
Okay.
first or second.
Okay. And was this information updated after Mr. Ward came into the school?
Correct, yes.
Okay. So the information wasn't current or accurate before he updated it?
Not on my side.
Okay. And when you say not on your side, what does that mean?
It was not in Skyward. That's my tool that I use.
Okay. And Skyward is a program that you use to keep track of the student information?
Correct.
Okay. And the interaction with Mr. Ward, has it been appropriate?
Always.
Okay. And has he tried to be involved in Dudley to, as far as involved in regards to his son's education at Dudley?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay. I have no further questions for this witness.
Okay. Ms. Ives?
Thank you. Ms. Hosek, are you privy to the information of who provides the initial information when a child is enrolled in school at Dudley?
No,
So at the time Demetrius was enrolled in school, you would not have any idea whose name was put on the enrollment form, correct?
correct.
So if mom put Demetrius's name on the enrollment form, that necessarily wouldn't have anything to do with what you see on Skyward, correct?
Not quite sure how to answer that. Eventually it rolls over there. Enrollment is an electronic process that a parent does, and that information is supposed to roll into Skyward, but I have no way of knowing if that information is correct or not.
Okay. But you're not part of that enrollment process?
No,
All right. Can you tell me what time does school start at Dudley?
8:50 a.m.
And, does Demetrius arrive on time for school?
As far as I know, I only see students that are late, and he's not one of my late students.
Okay, why don't, tell me what, the process is for a student arriving late or a student arriving early?
So students are not allowed to arrive early. Well, they can arrive 5 minutes early. Our building is designed where every classroom has its own entrance and exit door. So each classroom, the student goes directly into where the teacher is in their classroom. So I only see them if they've arrived 10 minutes late, which is by 9 o'clock. They have to come through the front door. And then that's when I'm aware of whether they're late or not.
Okay, and is Demetrius typically on time
Yeah, he's not a late
for
student.
school?
Correct.
And what about when a student or leaves school early? Can you tell me the process for that?
So the parent will be buzzed into the building by me. I ask them the student that they're going for. I reach out to that teacher and let them know that a parent is here to pick up. They send the student down while the parent is signing them out, and then they leave the building.
And what time does school end at Dudley Elementary?
It's 3:50, except for Wednesdays when it's early release at 3 p.m.
And does Demetrius, is he signed out of school early?
On Wednesdays and Thursdays typically. It's every other week.
Okay. Okay, and well, tell me who signs him out early?
It's usually dad.
Okay, and do you know what time frames Dad typically will remove him from school?
I'm going to grab my paper.
And if I may, Your Honor, if the witness would like to refresh, you can't read from the paper, but I would indicate if the witness would like to refresh her memory by looking at the paper, and then you'll have to set it down, okay?
Oh, okay.
You can refresh your memory, ma'am.
Okay, I'm looking at a whole bunch of dates, so I'll do my best.
Okay.
So, typically then on, the days that he's picked up early, can you tell me what time Dad removes him from school?
If it's the early release Wednesdays, it's typically around 2:30, 2:40, 2:45. And if it's the normal end of the day, it's about 3:30-ish.
Okay, and you said school ends typically around 3:50 p.m. on Monday,
Correct.
Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
That is correct.
And there are times on Mondays as well when Dad will appear and remove Demetrius from school early as well, correct?
Correct. There were a few instances of that.
All right, do other children leave school early like this?
Oh, yes.
Okay, is this typical that Dad removes Demetrius early then? Is this like do you see him every week doing this?
We were told at the very beginning of the year that we share custody with another school, and this would be a weekly occurrence.
All right, and what do you know about him being enrolled in another school?
Just that he's enrolled at another school, and we had to ask special permission for that to happen.
Okay, and what days does Demetrius attend school at Dudley?
He's Monday through Wednesday. And
What
then
days of the week?
Monday through Wednesday, and then the other week is Monday through Thursday.
All right, so he's not in school at Dudley on Fridays at all, correct?
Correct.
And he's only in school every other Thursday at Dudley, is that correct?
For the most part, yes.
And on top of that, Mr. Ward removes the child early from school, typically at least on Wednesdays and Thursdays, is that correct?
Yes.
Hold on a second, Ms. Ives. We lost Miss Storm.
Oh, the beauty of the beauty of the internet.
Yes.
Yes.
I know we're having some really awful weather down here, so I'm not sure if it's weather related.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We quite frankly, we rarely have this happen, so it's unusual.
We have issues whenever it rains, and it's raining.
Uh,
She's not quite back yet. Hold on.
My apologies.
oh, we lost her again.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Well, until then.
Thank you, sir. Do you have any opinion as whether or not the change in curriculum between the two schools has any effect on Demetrius?
No, I'm not
I
involved.
would
in that
object
part.
because I don't believe that she has the knowledge. She's a secretary and doesn't have she's not testified that she's in the classroom at all with Demetrius to be able to observe any of that.
Okay, well, what I'll do is I guess I'll reserve on that, Ms. Ives, unless you can lay a foundation.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Hosak, are you aware of any behavioral problems that Demetrius has in school?
Not really.
Would you become aware if he did have any major disciplinary issues?
If he was sent repeatedly to the office, possibly.
And is he sent repeatedly to the office?
No, he's not one that I see.
Do you see mom staying, my clients, Danielle, do you see her being involved with the child on a regular basis?
I just know what the teachers tell me, and all the parents are involved. I don't see any of that.
Okay. Do you know if Demetrius is involved in your 21st century program?
Only from what dad has told me.
Okay. So do you know anything about the school's 21st century program?
A little bit.
Okay. What is it that you know about the program?
It is a program that we offer an hour before school starts in the morning, and then runs 2.5 hours in the evening. The first focus is to help with homework. And then if there's certain things that the kids want more help with, like math or reading, they allot time for that, because we do have teachers available in the afternoon to help strengthen any of the weaknesses that either the child says that they would like to work on, or if the parents have made comments. And then they also try to add in fun time with that, and they will bring in special speakers and events so that the kids, it's not 100% learning, but that's the first focus. And then they have a little bit of playtime after that.
Do you know if Demetrius is in the Dudley 21st century program?
I don't know who the students are in the program.
Okay. Another issue, do you know anything about the Bearcat Advantage program? And if you do, can you describe what that is?
I probably know about the same as the rest of you guys, just what I've heard in the news. It's a program that will give you 100% paid tuition if you are at the Battle Creek Public Schools from day one, starting in kindergarten. And then the amount that you get is tempered by how long you are with the school. I know that if you don't spend the last 4 years of high school, it doesn't count at all. But if you can get into all the way from kindergarten, then it's 100%, and you can go to any place in in Michigan, and you can go to any of the NAACP universities countrywide. But that's about it.
Okay, and when you say the child can attend, you mean you're talking about college after?
So, correct.
Okay, but you have, in order to obtain the benefit, you have to maintain enrollment in the Battle Creek Public School System. Is that correct?
That's my understanding, yes.
And does Dudley Elementary qualify for that college tuition program?
Yes, it does.
You had at the original start of school, you had testified earlier that Dad was present for the initial orientation, correct?
I found out he was yesterday. I didn't know. I don't remember because I
Okay.
wasn't really that involved with the open house.
Okay,
I worked behind the scenes. I didn't see the parents.
all right.
I
Do you
remember.
know if Mom was present for that orientation?
I only know what the teacher said, and she said all the parents were here.
Okay. I have no further questions for this witness.
Okay, Ms. Storm, anything else? Any redirect?
Was my client the only parent that would take Demetrius out of school early? Did Ms. Newbern or any of her proxies take him out of school early?
I believe Mom may have done it once and a grandparent maybe once.
Okay. Do you know what time they took Demetrius out of school those days?
Not without looking at paperwork. I was only aware of that when
Okay. Do you have
he
that?
was sick.
Okay. Do you have that paperwork in front of you that you were consulting earlier?
Yes.
Could you take a moment to take a look and consult?
So they were marked as an appointment at 2:15 and then went home sick at 2:34. And that was on February 12th. As far as I know, that's the first time he went home sick.
All right. And on the 13th, did Ms. Newbern or her mother take the child out of school early that day?
Am I still allowed to look at the sheet?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
You said
I just wanted to verify, was it the 12th or the 13th?
of February.
Yes.
So I have him going home sick on Monday, the 12th.
The 12th. Okay. Just wanted to verify that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you know whether the students get visits from parent? Let me retract that and rephrase. If somebody comes to the school to visit with the students for whatever reason, is that something that is reflected in the sign in and out sheet?
Not if they don't leave the lobby, no.
Okay. Do you know if there was a time when somebody came to the school to visit with Demetrius during the school year?
There was an uncle that came one day.
Okay. And do you remember the name of that uncle?
No,
Okay. Are you sure it was an actual uncle?
no, I have no way of proving whether it is or not. That's why I called the
Do you
parent.
remember anything about that visit? I'm sorry. Do you remember anything about that visit as far as how long it happened and approximately when?
I have no idea of the when. It was maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Just said that he had told Mom that he would swing by. I guess Demetrius had been asking for him to come every day, and he finally said he was in the neighborhood. So he swung in, and then I called and talked to Dad to see if it was okay because he was not listed as a contact.
Okay. So did you call and try to call Mom and talk with her first?
I think because it probably was the day of the week is probably why I called Dad, or if I did, maybe I didn't reach Mom. I don't remember. I don't know.
Okay. But you said you called Dad that day?
Yes, I got a hold of Dad.
Do you remember? Okay, and do you remember what Dad said to you that day?
I thought, he'd asked some questions and I thought he had said that it was okay, so I allowed it. And then when he came to pick up that evening, he said he didn't say okay, and I didn't hear that.
Okay, so there was a miscommunication apparently between you and Mr. Ward regarding whether it was okay for the person to visit?
Correct.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Is that it? What's going on here?
I'm sorry, are we back to me for recross? Did I miss something?
No, no
Okay, sorry,
question.
Your Honor, I just didn't know if I had if my speaker cut out because we had some silence.
Anything else, Ms. Storm?
No, I had no further questions for this witness.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Okay. Ms. Ives, did you have any, the Sir
Yeah,
redirect?
just some recross, Your Honor. With regards to the early sign out of Demetrius on those 2 days, were those the only days that you observed Demetrius being taken out early by mom?
Yes,
And is it fair to say that each week, the Mr. Ward signs Demetrius out of school early?
yes,
And in looking at your sheets, you would agree that sometimes he's signed out at least an hour or more before school lets out, correct?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
It's not that.
Can you refresh your memory and look?
The only times I saw him coming early was Wednesday. That would be in the 2s. Otherwise, all my other times are after 3.
Okay. And what's the average time that he picks or leaves school early?
So if it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, it's around 3:30ish. That's more the average.
Okay,
So that's
And
about
so-
20 minutes early.
okay. And then, and what time does school release again?
3:50. But Wednesdays is 3.
And is there ever a reason that is identified of why dad picks the child up early?
Sometimes. Some of it just says home, some of it says appointment, but not always.
Yeah, most court gets deleted. They often delete. That's the hard part. That's what makes it so difficult. No, Jonathan, for sure. Did you add a command yet for your channel? Please add a command with the channel so that we can send people to your channel. It is very, very hard work, though. I follow, but what somebody did say earlier, it's hard to see clips that other people haven't done. I would argue that people don't want to see clips that other people haven't done necessarily. So, or like it's hard to break into the market like that. So you see a lot of people doing the same judges. Also, there's a few judges that leave their stuff up, and so that makes them easier to follow. But also, like I literally have thousands of court channels that I follow. There's more court than any person could watch every day. And I use a DVR, yeah, but you can't do that when it's alive. Okay, Crimson. As far as I'm aware, they won't let you do that during a live, and a lot of these ones delete the second that it's done. So you have to be screen recording the whole time. Yeah. That's what I've found, anyways.
Okay. So many times there's no reason. Sometimes the reason is home, and sometimes the reason is it says appointment.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions.
Okay, anything else, Ms. Storm?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Hosick, that would conclude your testimony. Thank you for attending, and you're free to go. Have a good day.
Am I done? I don't need to come back at 2 p.m.?
You do not need to, no.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Next witness, Ms. Storm?
Thank you. I believe the next witness that Ms. Ives and I discussed was going to be Ms. Ronise Irwin.
I don't. What was the name again? I'm sorry.
Ronise Irwin.
No, I have a Lindsay Potter and a Bobby Van Wormer. Is that?
I believe Van Wormer was another one that we had talked about taking early.
So do I bring this
Yep.
one in?
You want us to bring in Mr. Van Wormer?
Yes, that'd be fine.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Please unmute, ma'am.
Ms. Van Wormer, we're going to take some testimony from you. So if you would, raise your right hand. We'll have you sworn in, then we'll proceed.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Storm, you can proceed.
Thank you. Ms. Van Wormer, can you please state your name for the record?
Bobby Van Wormer.
And how are you employed?
I am a kindergarten teacher at Dudley Elementary School for Battle Creek Public School.
A what, teacher? That is not how we say that here. We would say kindergarten. Did she say kindergarten? Oh my God. Oh.
Okay. And are you the kindergarten teacher for Demetrius?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And how long have you been a kindergarten teacher?
This is my first year in kindergarten.
Okay. What did you teach prior to kindergarten?
First grade mostly, but I have also taught second and third grade.
Okay. And I'll launch right into asking, have there been any behavioral issues with Demetrius in your classroom?
Demetrius tends to have a hard time sitting still. He moves around the classroom during instruction time. So often climbing on the benches we have in the room or the bookshelf that are attached to the wall, nothing dangerous. He will lay on his chair and under his chair during instruction time.
Okay. Have you attempted to discuss these behavioral issues with either of the parents?
With both of them, yes.
Okay. And do you remember when you might have tried to address this with my client, Mr. Porter? Or excuse me, Mr. Ward?
For the first time?
First time or any time at this point would be fine.
The most recent time was conferences. I believe that was last week.
All right, and so parent, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I would have to check maybe my calendar, or we use a Remind app to know of other times if you need specifics. Okay.
So how do you communicate with the parents when there are issues about behavior?
Generally, I send a message through our Remind app to both parents.
Okay. And you said there's a Remind app. Can you just briefly explain what that is?
It's just a text messaging app that allows only parents and the families that we have in the classroom. They can't belong to the messaging app unless the teachers approve it.
Bring this up with my client. Did he have a response for you about the behavior issues?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? You were cutting out.
I'm sorry. When you spoke to Mr. Ward regarding the behavioral issues, did he have a response for you?
Just that he would speak with Demetrius and, you know, re-ascertain how important it is to pay attention during directions.
Okay. Did he give any sort of indication that this was something that he struggled with at home?
Both parents have mentioned that sometimes there were issues at home with this.
Okay. And does Demetrius have a little necklace that he uses at times in class?
Yes, he chews on it. When he does start swinging it, I have to take it away from him because it becomes dangerous.
He's hurting people with his necklace, y'all. Miss Donna, thank you so much. How are you doing, by the way? Thinking about you today. I hope you're doing well. He's swinging necklaces. I know, but seriously, a boy in kindergarten being active. I never heard of a boy doing that. Seriously though, this is ridiculous. This is a little bit ridiculous. I get it, but her energy level seems low for a kindergarten teacher. I'll tell you that. People used to say, "Oh, you'd make a really good kindergarten teacher," and I would make a really good kindergarten teacher because I have a feeling that they're less curriculum oriented. Although I think maybe I swear too much to be a kindergarten teacher, but I have a lot of energy. You know, I think that you need that. You know, if there are quiet kids, sit them on the fucking carpet. Let's deal with all the energy first, and we'll deal with the fucking quiet, smart kids later. No offense, quiet, smart kids, but y'all be fine. Read a book. Yay, Bev. Woo! Ding, 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 ding. Ooh, look at that delay. Canadian internet, you suck. All right, get me off the screen. And, see, look at that. Donna, you're making me laugh.
Okay. And so, do you know what the purpose of that necklace is supposed to be?
As far as I know, it's for him to chew on.
Okay. Is that supposed to be like a sensory tool to help him?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Do you know whether mom or dad got that for him?
I'm not positive who it was. I
Okay.
think mom, but I don't know.
That's okay. And the necklace, you said there are times you've had to take it away from him in class?
Yes, because he'll swing it around instead of just leaving it on his neck and using it for its intended purpose.
Okay. How often would you say you've had to take it away from him?
Probably every time he's had it.
Okay. And so is that something he wears every day or often?
No, he had it when it was first brought to class. He had it 2 or 3 days maybe. And then I did text home that there was some issues with it, that he was, you know, using it that way, and I didn't want him to get hit with it or anybody else. And then it didn't come back. And then he had it yesterday, I think.
Okay. And the times that you've seen him with it, have you observed any sort of benefit that it's given him? Have you seen an improvement in focus or anything going on during those times that he is using it?
No, I've actually never seen him chew on it either.
Okay. Um, Was Demetrius at school yesterday?
He went home sick from our morning care program. I guess he threw up.
Okay. Do you know whether he was picked up by mom or dad that day?
I don't, because that happened before I was actually at school.
Okay. So you don't know exactly why he was sent home that yesterday?
I'm just saying the secretary told me he went home because he threw up. So I would know
Okay.
for my attendance purposes.
Okay. But other than that, you wouldn't have any other further insight on.
Not for yesterday, no.
Okay. And are you familiar with the 21st Century program at Dudley?
I know we have it, and there's a morning and after school part. I don't know all the details.
Okay. So you don't have any firsthand knowledge of Demetrius in that program?
No, I do not.
Do you ever have homework that you send with Demetrius to that program potentially?
Yes, we send homework home on Mondays. That's due back on Friday.
And does Demetrius complete his homework and turn that in?
Yes, he does.
And do you know whether mom or dad or both are helping him with his homework to get it done?
I do not know.
Okay. Have there been any incidents of fighting with Demetrius in school?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Yes. Have there been any incidents where Demetrius has been in trouble for fighting while at school?
No, not to my knowledge.
So not in your classroom?
No.
Okay. I believe that's all the questions I have for this witness at this time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Ives?
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Van Wormer.
Good morning.
Demetrius is in your kindergarten class, is that correct?
Yes.
From the start of school, were you aware that, or did you have information for both the mom and the dad on your school enrollment or whatever records that you keep?
I don't know about the school enrollment, like the office papers, but I have had contact with both parents through the Remind app since the beginning of school. And Dad also has my cell phone number and texts me through that.
Okay, so both parents have been engaged with you since before the start of school?
Yes.
And did you hold a orientation before the start of school?
We have an open house before the first day.
Okay, and when would that have been in? Or when would
Um,
that have?
August, I don't remember the exact date. It was 1 or 2 days before the start of school. So August, like 23rd, maybe ish.
Okay, did both parents attend that open house?
Yes. Demetrius's mom came with him at one point during that night. And then his dad and stepmom came at another point.
Okay, and at that time, were you aware that Demetrius was being enrolled in 2 schools?
At that time, no, I was not.
Okay, and so at the start of school, can you tell me what you do know about Demetrius's enrollment?
At the very beginning of school, I thought he was just attending Dudley.
Okay, and then later on, what happened?
Maybe a month or less later, I found out he was attending 2 schools. And that was that. I just found out.
Okay, and what does attending 2 schools mean? What is your understanding of it?
My understanding is Demetrius attends Dudley Monday through Wednesday and every other Thursday. And then he attends Montessori every other Thursday and Fridays.
Ah, Montessori. If you couldn't tell, I am a Montessori child. Of course. I'm not joking. I went to Montessori school from preschool through to the 3rd grade. And then I switched to an independent family fine arts school where we only called our teachers by the first names. So I had never called a teacher by their last name, literally never said Mr. or Mrs. in my life until I was 13. It's private always. Montessori school is here anyways. Not publicly funded, it's privately funded. But anyways, yeah, I literally never said Mr. or Mrs. until I was in the 8th grade when I had left elementary school and I went to my junior high school for the first year. And it was a bit of a shock to call teachers Mr. So-and-so. Yeah. And of course, they told you their first name on the paperwork. So I would call them their first name and they were like, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, what's up, Jack? They're like, it's Mr. So-and-so to you. I was like, oh, okay, Jack, whatever. Needless to say, I did not do well in that school. Oh, shit. Okay. Also, we're going to continue watching this probably to the end of her testimony. We'll see where that takes us. And then we'll get on from there. We'll see what happens. And we may not, I don't know how much we'll do tonight. I have work to do. That's Mr. Beaver to you.
And then let me ask you a few questions about how Demetrius is doing in your classroom regarding education. How does he do grade-wise?
He does really well. He's a very smart.
He's in kindergarten. First of all, kindergarten. I'll just say here, if you asked a kindergarten teacher here what grade level or how does the child do academically, they would be like, especially a Montessori teacher or a like one of my teachers, they'd be like, well, we don't grade based upon ability, but rather a sliding scale based upon improvement, which is unique to each child and their circumstances. In fact, that sounds really good and it is really good. That is how school really should work, but it's very difficult to do. A lot of people, like parents, want a number or a letter. They're like, well, is he a fucking A plus, whatever? Like, I never had a letter grade until the 8th grade. I never had any letter grades. We did what was called, oh man. So my elementary school, first of all, nobody's going to believe this, but it was named South Park. And it was a family school and was a really old school. But we did, what happened was there was this teacher named Larry, Old Lair, we called him Old Lair, and I called him that anyways. And what happened was years prior to me going to the school, Old Lair was basically approached the principal and said, hey, I think if we eliminated the standard grading protocol, we could really improve upon students actually improving and like focus on their improvement, etc. And because we had a like an independent family school in a way, but it was publicly funded, they were able to do something like that. And so the school became a no grade school. There was no grades issued. Even in the older grades, you just were not issued any sort of marks like that. And you did these self-marking reports every year. But again, there was never any actual grades. So I ached. It's funny, when I was not getting them, I just ached. I was like, I just want to see an A or a B or a C or a D. Okay, got into, again, 8th grade, shocker for me, failed a lot. Because they were not so willing to accept my me, you know? They're just like, what the fuck? No, you do what we say. I was like, what? No, that's not how it works.
kid. He excels in math. He does it very quickly, and I try to challenge him with that. And then reading, he's doing very well with. He knows, all of his letters and sounds, and he's putting words together and reading kindergarten stories.
Do you know what grade level he's reading at?
I would have to look that up.
Okay. Do you have those records with you?
I can look it up online real quick if that's allowed.
Could you refresh your memory and let us know?
Yes, ma'am, you
Yes.
can look that up.
Okay, give me just a second.
You telling me that you knew we were coming to court for this kid and you didn't even bother looking at his fucking file beforehand? Bobby. Bobby.
Just let us know when you're ready and you've finished looking.
Okay, thank you. It's just a lot of buttons to click to find the right report that shows me that.
Oh, yeah. I could read. I read to the point where teachers were concerned about my reading because they're like, this is not really appropriate reading material.
Okay, they give teachers a lot of different numbers. But he is reading at or above grade level. If you need more specifics, I'll have to look a little deeper into the report.
How does she not innately know that as his teacher?
That's okay.
I find that weird.
So you said you challenge him in math. Generally, what does that mean?
So currently we're doing addition and subtraction 1 through 10 for kindergarten. If he's doing the same exact problems as the other kids, I'll set a timer for him. So he's working on his fluency, his mental math, which they don't start working on until first grade. Or I will give him bigger addition and subtraction problems with teen numbers instead of just 1 through 10.
This is funny. One could argue that the Montessori is having a good effect the way that they're doing it right now. That's interesting. I like Mom's smile. In Montessori, it's very, very self-directed, at least when I did it. You direct yourself for what classes you do during the day. There are many teachers in the classroom, maybe 4 or 5 teachers in a regular, like, first and second grade classroom. And you have that, this sheet. I remember them, they're green. And every day you have to fill in all your blocks and you have to finish it by the end of the week. So I used to I love that. That type of structure for me worked really well. You have to get this shit done, but you can do this stuff and they don't tear you away from things. So if you really want to go play in the sandbox doing something during when some other kids are doing math, you can do that in Montessori. It's very, very different in school. So it's interesting that he seems to be thriving in both environments, and that's good.
And how is he doing on other subjects in your classroom?
So our main focus is math and reading throughout the day. We also have science and writing. He actually loves writing. He does very well with that. He's a good reader and a good speller. So he does very well. We're working on 3-part stories and he's writing 3 parts of a story. As far as science, often misses science because it's last in the day. And when he gets picked up early, he'd miss some of that science lessons.
And let's talk about getting picked up early in the day. How frequently is Demetrius picked up in the day on the days that he's in school?
I don't have exact numbers because that's all taken care of at the office. But it was very frequently the last month and a half, he hasn't left early at all.
Okay. And were you aware that the court had instructed that the child not be taken out of school early?
I was not aware.
Okay. Um, did you hold a parent-teacher conference this year since the start of school?
Yes, we've had two.
And were both parents at that parent-teacher conference?
Yes,
Does Danielle come by herself or with anybody?
no, she comes by herself.
And what about Mr. Ward? Does he come by himself or with anybody?
Usually Demetrius's stepmom attends.
Okay, what is her name, please?
I think
If
it's
you don't-
Alicia. I
I'm
think it's
sorry?
Alicia. Alicia?
Okay. Um, and at some point, have you ever tried to reach out to the Montessori school for any reason?
I did. I was looking for some ways to help Demetrius function a little better in the classroom and get a better understanding of how they teach over there.
Okay. And were you able to make contact with his teacher there at all?
I was not. I left a message.
And did anyone try to call you back?
Not to my knowledge.
And did this come up at all on one of your parent-teacher conferences?
It did. Mr. Ward expressed a concern that I didn't contact him first before contacting the school. He just thought I should, from my knowledge, he just thought I should have contacted him first.
All right. Do you see that is any issue, or I guess not issue, but does it affect Demetrius? Does it affect his curriculum and the fact that he's enrolled in two different schools?
I think learning the two different ways of teaching can be difficult because Montessori schools are really different from public schools.
Okay, I mean, and how do you know that?
Just from Googling, just from looking
Okay.
up what Montessori schools are, and it's more of an open-ended format where the kids direct their learning.
And I take it, you mean the kids direct their learning in a Montessori setting as opposed to you directing their learning in the classroom?
Yes,
Do you believe that Demetrius would excel even more if he was in one standardized school setting?
I think he would excel more if he was in one
I would
place.
object at this point because she's not been qualified as an expert to give her opinion as to whether or not Demetrius would do better in one environment over the other or the consistency thereof.
Court will sustain the objection.
You had indicated that you had addressed some discipline issues when responding earlier. Did you ever address these same discipline issues with the mother?
I've addressed every issue with Demetrius with both parents for the entire year.
Do you get cooperation from each parent?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And back to the parent-teacher conferences, did both parents attend those teacher conferences?
Yes,
Does mom ask the appropriate questions on what she can do to better assist Demetrius?
yes,
Okay. Does the father ask the same type of questions of how he can help?
Yes.
Um, and Demetrius, when he's taken out of school early, can you tell me what time, is kind of the average time you see him being removed from school weekly?
Between 2:30 and 3.
Okay, and, do you see that on a weekly basis?
Except for the last month and a half, yes.
All right, and, what about timeliness to school? Does Demetrius arrive to school on time?
Yes, he's part of the morning program and he comes in with that group of kids at start time,
Do you know what time that starts?
8:45. Oh, the morning program? I
Yes.
believe it's 7:40,
And what time does your classroom start?
8:45.
And is he always on time for your classroom?
Yes,
If you know, do you know who brings him to school each morning?
I don't know.
Um, does Demetrius miss a lot of school?
No, he does not.
Okay. So he has, good attendance?
Except for the days where he attends Montessori school, yes.
Hold on. A quick question about, the Bearcat Advantage program. Are you familiar with that?
I am, yes.
Can you get a brief synopsis? Can you tell us what it is?
From my understanding, if you attend Battle Creek Public Schools from kindergarten through 12th grade, you will get 100% paid for tuition to certain colleges.
Is Dudley Elementary part of that system?
Yes, it is.
And by being enrolled in kindergarten, would Demetrius qualify for that if he continued his matriculation through high school?
As far as I know, yes.
And if you know, is the Montessori school part of that program?
I don't believe it is, no.
With regards, to Demetrius's homework, is his homework always turned in?
Yes, it is.
And I understand that homework is usually due on Friday, but he's not there on Friday, correct?
Yes.
So how does that homework get turned in?
He either completes it and turns it in early or he'll bring it on Monday.
Okay, and you allow him to turn it in late on Monday without penalty?
Yes, I allow all students to do that.
Okay. And he always turns in his homework, each week?
Yes, he does.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Ms. Storm, any redirect?
When you called to contact Montessori, do you remember approximately when you did that? An exact date's not necessary, but approximately when you did that?
It was probably about a month ago.
Okay. And do you remember who you called?
I spoke to whoever answered the phone. I was assuming the secretary.
Okay. So you left a message with the secretary at Montessori?
Yes,
Okay. And you don't know whether or not that secretary then transferred and gave that message to the teacher, correct?
I do not know.
Okay. Did Demetrius go home? Was Demetrius in school yesterday?
The secretary at our school let me know that he threw up in the morning program and went home early. So I did not see him at all yesterday.
Okay. And do you know if part of his behavioral issues, whether he has gotten into any fights with another child, like on the playground or something?
I know there was an altercation, like one of the parents contacted me and said Demetrius came home and said something happened. And when I looked into it, the playground aide said that it was nothing and it was all taken care of.
Okay. And you don't have any further direct knowledge about that topic?
I don't, because I'm not on the playground when at recess.
Okay. Um, did you have a conversation with Porter about Demetrius's behavior that might have escalated?
Meaning what exactly?
That you might have raised your voice at Mr. Porter or communicated with him frustrations regarding Demetrius's behavior?
If my voice was raised, it was completely unintentional. If this is in reference to the pickup line, I was probably just rushed, trying to get kids, kindergartners away from the road.
Okay. Did you ever try to talk to my client about getting in contact with Montessori school as far as the specific teacher or anyone else that might be able to answer the questions you were looking for?
I did not. I looked at it as we share a student. I'm just talking to another teacher. I honestly didn't think about contacting the parent.
Okay. So you say Demetrius is doing well in all the areas of school, correct? His reading, his writing, his math, and even science, even though he's not always there?
Well, science he misses, so I don't have enough work to give him a good grade in science, but the rest of it he is excelling at, yes.
Okay. How long do you guys spend on science each day?
30 to 40 minutes.
Okay. Are there any signs that Demetrius is struggling in your classroom?
Just with paying attention.
Paying attention to you being boring, lady, I'm calling it, because I'm sorry, is he not excelling at everything you're asking him to do? You're setting fucking
I have
timers
no
for him while the
further
rest of the
questions
kids are
for
not
this
doing it.
witness. Thank you.
Okay.
This is
Besides
the
any
fastest turn around.
redirect or recross.
You're not pushing
Thank
him.
you.
Shut up, Paisley. Just hit play.
Ms. Van Order, other than the difficulty paying attention part, do you have any other disciplinary problems with Demetrius in your classroom?
No,
So he's not one to pick fights or do other types of just bad behavior that would upset your classroom?
no, he's a very respectful young man.
And the attention piece, I mean, do you just in your experience and your knowledge, do you see how are there ways to assist that?
There are, yes.
And have you told the parents or given them any indication of how they can help?
I have indicated that if they also have a concern with it, that they should speak to their pediatrician.
Okay. Is there some concerns that he might have some attention deficit going on potentially?
His mom has mentioned that there might be something like that going on, and I know the stepmom has also mentioned that.
Okay. Do you know if he's actually been tested for it, if you know?
I don't know.
Okay. As far as, well, no, I don't think I have any further questions.
That's it, Ms. Ives? I didn't hear that.
Yes, Your Honor, that will be it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesus.
Okay.
Judge, shut up. That's enough for today. I can't do any more. I have other work to do, and she's a terrible witness. Could you imagine her as a kindergarten teacher? No, thank you. Let me mark the time though that we were at 1:14:27. Literally need to write that down. 1:14:27. Guys, now I can remove that. And I can remove it from the studio. And now, oh, look, I can move fast again. Look at that. I hope everybody had a wonderful evening to begin with. I know that it was a bit of a weird day. We're getting started with this case. It's going on for hours. These attorneys smoke, but we've got other things to do. Anyways, I hope that you guys all have had a wonderful time. Please remember that I love you. I am proud of you. And I will see you in the next video. KCC Karate Chop. Oh, outro. Yeah. I'll play the outro. We've said goodbye. I'll see you later.